Well, I did predict Battle of Chaos was going to be Duel Monster support. This time it's for Yugi. So not only we got the cover card revealed along with his new support, that being Dark Magician, but it also mixes with one of his other archetypes. But anyway, no more wasting time and let's begin. Well, we start off with Mage Kuribo, which is a level 1 Dark Fiend with 300 attack and 2000 defense, and it's effective. During your main phase or battle phase, if you took battle damage or effect damage by your opponent, this turn you can quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon one Dark Magician or Girl from your deck or graveyard. Now it is nice that you can use this effect anytime when you take in damage during the turn, but in all honesty, there's more ways to recover your Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. But anyway, second effect. If a face-up Spellcaster monster you control is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. And each effect is a hard once per turn. I mean, you do have some milling for Dark Magician, and with some of these new cards, you're going to be placing them in the top of your deck, so at least you get some recovery out of it. But in all honesty, I'm not going to play this card if I were playing Dark Magician. Now the next one, Dimension Conjurer. Level 1 Dark Spellcaster with 500 attack and 500 defense, and it's effective. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one magical dimension from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Magical Dimension is of course a staple for your Spellcaster deck, and it's especially nice that this is a Spellcaster that can search out the Magical Dimension, meaning you could just play Magical Dimension right away. So just this effect alone can be very good for any Spellcaster deck. But it also has a second effect where it combos well with the Magical Dimension, where if this card is sent from the Monster Stone to the graveyard, you can draw the same number of cards equal to the number of spellcasters you control, then place the same number from your hand to the top of your deck. And each effect is a hard once per turn. Now I don't like that it doesn't really directly plus you, but it is a nice replacement of hand, like a Graceful Charity kind of. But I would mainly use this card for the first effect. And now to a new form of a legendary dragon, Timaeus the Dragon of Destiny. Level 8 light dragon with 28 attack and 18 defense, and it's effective. You can send one Spellcaster monster or one spell or trap that has Dark Magician in its text from your hand or face up to the field to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. Not a hard condition. But second effect, during your main phase, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, including one Spellcaster monster. Each effect is a hard once per turn. So basically, this card is a poly but also a 28k beatstick. Why not? My only gripe is that since Timaeus was one of Yugi's main cards, I don't really like it for the fact that it's restricted to only Dark Magicians. Because Yugi has other aces that have been retrained as well. Buster Blader, and now Gaia, and now continuing off, Illusion of Chaos. Level 7 Dark Spellcaster, it's of course a ritual monster with 2100 attack with 2500 defense. You ritual summon this by using Chaos form and it's effective. You can reveal this card from your hand to add one Dark Magician or one non-ritual monster that has Dark Magician in its text from your deck to your hand. Then place one card from your hand to the top of the deck. Now I don't mind searching, but I just don't like placing a card back to the top of your deck because it doesn't really directly plus you. But consistency searchers are always nice. But its second effect, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can return this card to your hand, and if you do, special summon one Dark Magician from your graveyard, and if you do that, negate that effect. Each effect is a hard once per turn. Just the mere fact that this card has a searching effect while activating it from hand makes this already a good 2 to 3 up. And on top of that, it has a monster effect negation in it as well. That can return itself back to your hand so you can use the search effect again, so you can reuse that search effect. Yes, like I mentioned before, I just don't like returning a card from my hand to the top of the deck, but luckily you can always just return this card and then draw this card next turn and then reveal it again. So in a way, you're replacing a draw with a search. And now to the new fusion monster, Super Magical Warrior Master of Chaos, or Dark Master of Chaos if they want to go with TCG. It's a level 8 Dark Spellcaster fusion with 3000 attack with 2500 defense, requires one Dark Magician, and one Chaos or one Blackluster Soldier Ritual monster. Well, this is going to be a weird mash of archetypes because they play in different styles, but at least you can use any Chaos monster, so meaning you don't even have to clog up Blackluster Soldier for the deck. And Illusion of Chaos is a Chaos. We also have Chaos Sorcerer, just saying. But anyway, its effect is, if this card is fusion summoned, you can target one light or dark monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Definitely see a Chaos Dark Magician variant. Second effect, you can tribute one light and dark monster, banish all monsters your opponent controls. Definitely Chaos. Third effect, if this fusion summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect, luckily it doesn't have to be your opponent, you can target one spell card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Each effect is a hard once per turn. I would say this card is not too bad if you are playing a Dark Magician Chaos variant deck. Yes, we do have the new Timaeus that is also light, and it's not even really that hard to summon, but most of the Dark Magician cards are all dark. That's the only thing. So if you use this card purely for Dark Magicians, you really only have value with the first and third effect. The second effect where you want to banish everything, unless you add few light monsters, mainly Timaeus because Timaeus is still light. But other than that, this card is actually pretty awkward for the archetype it's supposed to be in. Now if you play this in Blackluster Soldier with some Dark Magician engine in it, that might be a different story. Now that's it for the cards for Battle of Chaos, but we also got some more Dark Magician support in the World Premiere pack for Japan, which if I remember correctly, some of these cards are going to be in the tins. So let's begin with Magician's Salvation. It's a field spell, and you can only activate one of these per turn, and its effect is, when this card is resolved, you can set one Eternal Soul from your deck. Very nice, that's one of your main traps. Second effect, if you normal or special summon a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, you can target one of those monsters and special summon one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl whose name is different from the target. So basically, if you have Dark Magician, you summon back Dark Magician Girl. If you have Dark Magician Girl, you summon Dark Magician. This is so you could get Master and Student together. And this effect is a hard once per turn. So yeah, overall not a bad field spell. In many playstyles for Dark Magician, you want both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl together, because that's where most plays begin. And then we got Shatter the Darkness, which is a continuous spell, and its effect is, if you normal or special summon a non-token normal monster, draw a card. Very nice. Second effect, when one of the following monsters you control declares an attack or battles an opponent's monster, a level 5 or higher normal monster, a ritual monster that used a normal monster, a fusion, synchro, or exceed monster that used a normal monster as material, until the end of the turn, that monster gains attack equal to the attack of the opponent's monster. And each effect is a hard once per turn. Very nice for being generic for any normal monster. Because in many ways, this is also for Blue Eyes as well. Because you know the eternal rivalry between Blue Eyes and Dark Magician? Now the only thing is, this card won't be searchable since it doesn't have Dark Magician or Blue Eyes in its text, because there are cards that will interact with that. But it is worth running. And then our next card, which is only for Blue Eyes, the True Light. It's a continuous trap, and its effect is, the first one is apply one of the following. Special summon one Blue Eyes from your hand or graveyard, or directly set one spell or trap that has Blue Eyes in its text that is different to the ones that you have on the field and in your graveyard. And this effect is hard once per turn. So in many ways, this is basically Eternal Soul for Blue Eyes. To continue off, it's a continuous effect where Blue Eyes White Dragons in your monster zone cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. Very nice, especially because they're 3k beaters. Third effect, if this face-up card in your spell or trap card zone is sent to the graveyard, destroy all monsters you control. Well, that's a punishment for losing this card, but for the benefits that you get from it, this is worth running, especially because it gives you protection for Blue Eyes. So that's it for this archetype. What do you guys think about the new Dark Magician support along with that one Blue Eyes card? Weird, but also cool to see new Dark Magician cards, because Dark Magician is in desperate need of support in comparison to Blue Eyes, as Blue Eyes is like overrated compared to Dark Magician. But what I find weird is that some of these new Dark Magician cards want to mix with the other archetypes that Yugi played. But anyway, tell me what you think, and now it's time to say goodbye.